Welcome to Plate Culture. I was about to do that. Glad I didn't. I'm Lucas, and this is Samu. He's normally our producer. He's joining me today. We are going to be talking about our Brazilian night and the dinner we made. There were a lot of things we did have to kind of swap around a little bit and change a little bit, but I think we came up with a product that was very close to something that you would find in Brazil. So while it's not an exact science, we would capture the essence of the culture. A phrase I feel like I use way too much. So for the first course, our appetizers, we made Brazilian Coxinhas. This is a really delicious fried dough pocket that I first tried, funnily enough, when I was studying abroad in France.
Wait, you studied abroad in France?
Yes, I did. I had a Brazilian roommate.
Yeah.
He did not speak English, but he made me lots of Brazilian food while I was studying, and it was delicious. This is one of the favorite things that he made me, these little teardrop-shaped dough pockets, which we're going to talk about. And they are delicious even when you don't get them perfect, which I did not.
I mean, they were still good.
They were delicious. They were good.
Yeah.
So you start by making a dough with chicken broth and some flour, and then you let that chill for an hour. And then afterward, you so while that's chilling, you make the filling. Chilling with the filling.
Chill.
You make the filling with chicken that you first boil with some spices like bay leaves and some onions and carrots. Mm-hmm. Make a little bit of a broth, and you boil the chicken in that, and then you pull it out and you shred it.
How do we shred it?
With some forks. Take 2 forks and you just kind of like pull it apart, pull it apart, pull it apart. And then you add a good amount of cream cheese and some garlic and lime. Did we use lime? I guess we used lime. I don't remember the lime.
I don't remember the lime either.
I guess it was a part of it. We used some lime somewhere. And then once the dough has chilled, you flatten it out into kind of a circular shape.
How big of a circle? Like face sized or smaller?
I get a little smaller than
half
face, like an eyebrows to chin. And then you add your chicken cream cheese filling, and then you shape them with your hands into a little teardrop shape. Be careful not to tear the bottom. It is easy to tear if you flatten out the dough too much, and you want to make sure that the top of the teardrop's not too thick so that dough will be able to cook in the fryer.
Yeah.
So
that kind of, for us, the tops, because they were thicker, we ended up having to kind of throw away parts of it. But the rest of it tasted delicious.
Also partially because we had the oil on too hot.
That's
another
true.
Mistake that we made. So then you take these teardrop shaped things and you dip them in eggs and then some breadcrumbs. We use some it's a cracker meal commonly used for frying fish and stuff like that, and then dropped it into a fryer. Make sure your fryer is not too hot, or else it's going to cook the outside way quicker than it cooks the inside, and you're going to have to throw away a lot of uncooked dough. It was still delicious. The inside, the filling was great. The crispy part that was fully cooked was great. We threw on some crumbly cheese. We used cotija cheese, which is commonly used in Mexican cooking, and we felt that it matched really well.
It was perfect.
The cheese on top was a good addition. I don't know.
I could put cheese on anything.
And then also some parsley. Throw some herbs on there.
Yeah.
Some herbs. All right. Main course.
I think the main course, as much as I love the dough pockets, I think the main course was my favorite. As much as the coxinhas were delicious, I was a big fan of the main course we made, which was steaks, and I just love steak.
The Brazilian and kind of just South American way of making steak in general is over an open flame. We don't have a fire pit, we don't have really a yard where we can make a flame, and we don't have a grill. So lots of things kind of holding us back here, but we made it work. I tried to make these as open flame grill like as possible. We did a reverse sear. A reverse sear is when you put it in the oven first, you pull it out of the oven, and then you hit it on a really hot pan. In my opinion, I like searing the steak as the last thing I do, because then that sear is going to be the most flavorful. I don't want, if you put it in the oven, it could get a little bit soggy, it could lose some of the crispness. With some butter and garlic, we used to baste towards the end of the sear. While it's on the pan, you put that in the pan. Again,
Wasn't
it's
there
not an
something
open
else on the
flame.
base too?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I mixed some cayenne with the butter. So that gave it kind of a little bit of a spicy kick. Gave it
not too
something
much.
different, made it a little more authentic. Authentic.
Tell us about the sauce.
Yeah, so what we did on top of it was the chimichurri sauce. It is a very delicious parsley herb-based sauce that is used a lot of times in South America, especially on top of steaks. You put olive oil, lemon juice, parsley, cilantro, garlic, oregano, red pepper, and salt and pepper. All those things thrown in a food processor, whip it up real nice. The salty, acidic nature of the sauce matches really well with the steak.
How thinly should people slice their steaks?
As thinly as you would like to eat them.
How thinly do you prefer?
I cut them in little half-inch slices. Make sure you have a sharp knife. You don't want to be pressing down too much. You want to let the knife do the work. If you have a dull knife, you're going to have to press into it, and it's going to make the steak smush down. You want to make sure that steak is nice and juicy.
Let's not forget about the sides, though.
The sides were delicious. I don't know if we used exactly the same types of vegetables. I did Google it, and there are a lot of vegetables used in Brazilian cooking. I picked just a handful that I think would work well roasted. So we used some broccolini, portobello caps, eggplant. I think that was it. Oh, and onions. Yeah. Brazilian cooking it's simple when it comes to the veggies. You don't want to put too much on there. You don't want to add way too many spices. So it's really simple: olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then
a little drizzle,
and throw them on the grill. But we didn't have one again, so throw it in the oven on the broil setting. And I think that was it for the main course.
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed those steaks. I think the chimichurri sauce is really what brought the whole thing together.
I loved how salty the chimichurri was. It was like the perfect amount of salt. For the dessert, we wanted to keep it a little bit lighter while also keeping the feel of the Brazilian dinner. And because we had already had some fried food as the appetizer and some big old steaks as the main course, we needed something light that we weren't gonna it wasn't gonna make us feel horrible afterwards.
Yeah, we were already pretty full after the first two courses, so it was definitely a good thing to have a lighter dessert for this one.
So to keep it a little tropical, we decided to take some sliced pineapple, and normally you would, in Brazilian food, you would grill this pineapple or have it on a spit, one of those spinning things that heats it on the outside, and then you shave off the outer layer.
How did we get the shaved pineapple?
Shaved?
How did we get the pineapple?
What? Oh, from the store.
Yeah.
So the store had this fun thing. Is you take a whole pineapple and then you put it in this machine, and then it cuts off the edges, and then it cores the inside.
And then it looks like a little tube.
Yeah, this little pineapple tube, and then we slice that into little half-inch slices like the steak, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I put those in the oven, and I tried this thing where I wanted to get some grill marks on it, and some fake grill marks, which they do this sometimes when it comes to food photography, trick photography. They take something and make artificial grill marks on something. And so I was trying to do that to trying to make it look like it was grill marks. Didn't work. Not even kind of.
No, and we
so we just had, but anyway, it still tastes good. And I had a little bit of a glaze on there.
Yeah, what'd you put in the glaze?
I put some honey, brown sugar, chili powder, and lime juice.
Chili powder?
Yeah. And so
tell us about that decision.
I felt like kind of this sweet heat would be, there's a lot of sugar already. We had pineapple, honey, and brown sugar. So lots of sweetness. I wanted to kind of cut that down with some acidity. So I had the lime juice, and then I wanted to add just a smidge of a kick. A smidge of a kick into the food. And so I added some chili powder, and it just gave it a little bit of extra flavor in that. And so then I kind of cut those in half and plated them. Put the glaze on top. Oh, I think I put some balsamic in there too.
Yes, that's right.
A little drop of balsamic. Drippy drop.
But yeah, so I mean, it came together well. I think it paired well with the rest of the meal. So
it was a nice, light, refreshing dessert. And then we jumped in the pool afterward.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Had a grand
It was
old
good
time.
It was a good night. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We really enjoyed making the Brazilian food and eating the Brazilian food.
Yeah, it was great.
especially.
Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys have any suggestions for other countries of dinners that we should do, comment down below what countries' foods you would like to see.
Are you from another country? Or are your parents from another country? Let me know. I want to know about it. I want to cook that country's food if possible. So,
Or if you have any specific recipes,
yes,
send us
that'd be awesome.
those.
We have some fun ideas for the future. The future.
See you guys in the future.
See y'all in the future.